What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. I am your host, AJ Alvarado, and I'm joined by Vince the Prince and Reed McCall. Today, we are talking about who's in a better situation, Davante Adams or Aaron Rodgers. After that big old breakup, Aaron's to Rodgers, Rodgers to Aaron. Adams, sorry, all over the place right now. But yeah, it was such a good duo. But
So good.
is Derek Carr, Davante Adams a better duo? Is that chemistry going to be revived from what they had over there in Fresno State, because they did play together in college, and I don't know if y'all saw some of their stuff, but they were pretty amazing. But I do want to hand the mic over to Reed McCall, because they threw me a bone last year, and I got to talk with the Niners, and now is Reed's chance to talk about a little bit about the Packers, but mainly the topic of the show: Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers. Who's in a better situation? Let me put you up here because I know you like to be up there.
Appreciate it. Yes. So as the Packers insider over here at NSP, I know a lot about these two guys. I've loved Davante Adams his entire career since his rookie year. Super sad that he ended up choosing to go elsewhere, but wish the best to him. So I'm going to be breaking down to you guys who's in a better situation: Davante Adams going over to the Las Vegas Raiders, into a new team. Old quarterback from college, but ultimately a different system, different quarterback, knew everything really. Or Aaron Rodgers, the time and tested four-time MVP and future Hall of Famer, who's in a better situation this next year. So start us off. I'm gonna go dive into the Raiders and Davante Adams side. So I'm gonna give you guys some points here on some good points for Devontae and some bad points on why I think what his situation is going to look like. So just going off the bat, Derek Carr, that's going to be his biggest thing, whether he's good or not. Looking ahead at his stats, he's had some good years, but he's also had some pretty dang mediocre years. And the biggest stat that's pointing out to me is the touchdowns. He's only had one time in his career, and it was his second year in the league, way back in 2015, where he had more than 30 touchdowns. Only once. In my opinion, Derek Carr has not shown me that he can actually run a top five offense. What are you guys' thoughts?
Hmm.
I think it's going to be extremely tough because, as we all know, Davante Adams is now with the Raiders in the AFC West, which is the hardest division of football. But I don't think the Raiders are no pushover. You know me, I'm a big Derek Carr guy. Yeah, he started off real hot with the Raiders when he came into the league, but that was over 8 years ago now, which is kind of
Mm-hmm.
insane to think about. But I do think that chemistry will be revived with Adams, and it's tough, but they do have a good team. They do have a good team, and a lot of people found Hunter Renfro last year, especially because of fantasy football, which we talked about a lot here in NSP Fantasy Talk. Um, and they did reamp that defense. So I still do like that situation. I think the Raiders have a great chance, especially with Davante Adams coming back and with the chemistry that they had back in college.
All right.
I liked your point, Reed, of what you brought up on why he would not be successful is because of his touchdowns and especially his TD to INT ratio.
Yep.
It's not very good. It hasn't been good in any season, honestly. But to answer your question on why he doesn't have so many touchdowns, it doesn't like dispute it on every level, but the Raiders have been a pretty good team running the ball. I mean, they had Latavius Murray, they had Marshawn Lynch for a little while, and then they have Josh Jacobs now. So those guys do take up some of the touchdowns, but can't blame it on that. So I do agree with you that Derek Carr is not a top five quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback in my opinion either. But he does have some good spurts, and I think with a top tier receiver, in your opinion, Rita, I believe that you have him in a top three, Davante Adams. So I think it could change it a little bit. Davante Adams does make plays pretty often, so
Yes.
he can get those TD to INT ratios up. Because when you're throwing to Davante Adams, you're obviously bound to not throw that many picks because Devontae is going to fight for that ball. So it just depends on their connection. They did play at Fresno State, so let's see if they can bring some of that stuff back.
Yes, going off of that, man, guys, I knew they played in college, but just like right before this video, I just looked up their stats. AJ, go ahead and cue up that video. I just looked at their stats and what they were able to do there. It is insane. So they've only played 2 years together, with the Derek Carr entering the league before Davante Adams. But in their 2012 season, pretty good stats. 102 catches. This is Adams stats with Derek Carr as his quarterback. 102 catches, 1,300 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Pretty solid, you know. Very good. Now the next season, the second season they played together, 131 catches, 1,700 yards, and 24 touchdowns. 24 touchdowns in a single season.
Wow.
That's unreal. When I heard that 24 touchdowns, I had to go check another website. I was like, this is not real. There's no way somebody had 24 touchdowns in a single season. That's insane. If they are able to bring what they had in college back and put it inside the NFL, this is going to be scary. That it might be even better than Aaron Rodgers if they're able to bring that same thing into the NFL.
Wow.
It might.
Wow, guys, and he's a Packers fan. He's a Packers fan.
If they're able to just take it and just place it in the NFL, if they're able to do that.
Honestly, this connection reminds me a lot of what we saw last year with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. He just slings it downfield, and Jamar Chase is down there. He's hungry for that ball. It looks like there's no stopping this duo. Back here in college, let's see if they still got it here in the professional league. This is nuts.
And Davante Adams has just increased his skills as a wide receiver with his footwork. There's nobody better than him. He's able to get open right off the line, unlike any other receiver can. It's incredible. And then he's able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, man. And if you haven't been paying attention to this video, I want you to go to the first 40 seconds to you fans out there. Look at the first 40 seconds, and those are all in the same game.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 4 touchdowns in the same game, and they were all more than 30 yards. So I want you to pay attention to that, and that's how good this connection could be. Of course, the NFL and the cornerbacks are a lot better here, but if they can exploit that and get that connection back, that's scary.
Yes. So that's the big plays that we just saw in the in that highlight video. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, that made Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams so special is that you guys are probably, I don't know routes as good as you guys, but that curl routes or that going to the sideline where Davante Adams turns just at the perfect time and then the ball's just right there. Aaron Rodgers has already pre-thrown it, knowing exactly where Davante is going to be, and Davante knew exactly where Aaron Rodgers is going to throw it. Better than anybody else in the league with that connection. Is Derek Carr going to be able to get the ball into those type of tight spots that Aaron Rodgers could, where there's no defender, it doesn't matter like how well you defend it, you can't stop it. Can he do that?
Yeah, man, that's a good point, because I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best to do it, if not arguably the best to do it ever in the NFL. But I don't think that Derek Carr can do that, because you can't practice that. Of course, you can get semi good, but you can't get that skill level by practicing for just one off season. This is going to take multiple years, so I'm glad that they did sign him to a multiple-year deal. If it doesn't happen this season, I think in the second or third season that Derek Carr and Davante Adams are linked together, I think they could possibly mimic a little bit of what Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams had, but not perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. He can mimic a lot of things, but doing what Aaron Rodgers does, just placing the ball exactly where he wants. He's a cheat code himself. I don't think the top 10% of quarterbacks can do that here in the league. It is very special what Aaron Rodgers has, and it cannot be mimicked almost anywhere. So,
yeah.
not I don't think Derek Carr can.
I will say one more thing before we move on to Aaron Rodgers about the good side of Davante Adams, his situation. He's got some weapons with him. Hunter Renfro looks like a great young wide receiver, and then Darren Waller. Darren Waller is a beast of tight end. Not one of the biggest like Travis Kelce or George Kittle as far as stats and what he brings to the team, but he's a solid tight end, and he's got Davante Adams isn't just alone like he kind of was with the Packers, with not like as bigger names. So look to see that help Davante Adams. I'm very interested to see what his percentage of catches across our touches compared to the rest of the team is. But moving on to Aaron Rodgers, what type of situation is he in? Now, all off season, ever since Davante Adams got traded, all the headlines, all the stories are just Davante Adams has nobody to throw to. He has nobody to throw to. There's nobody there. He's going to be lost. He's not going to be the same. On and on and on. But I'm here to refute that. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, since he came to the league, he's had a multitude of wide receivers he's thrown to. And throughout the years, he has consistently put up high numbers. Consistently. You say, what's he going to do without Davante Adams? Guys, before Davante Adams, he was a 2-time MVP already. He was a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. And when Davante Adams came in, he was just a rookie, a young player who wasn't catching that many balls. And a lot of sports writers, a lot of these big people in the NFL media were writing off Davante Adams because he dropped a lot of balls. They did not think very highly of Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers makes wide receivers at the end of the day. In my experience, I've seen a lot of wide receivers from the Packers go on and leave and go to other different places. We saw Greg Jennings leave. We saw Jordy Nelson leave. We saw Randall Cobb leave. We saw James Jones leave, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We saw all these people leave. They were not the same wide receivers when they left. Aaron Rodgers makes the wide receiver. Now, I will say, Davante Adams is different from all those other wide receivers. I know Vincent was about to say it. Davante Adams is, as far as talent-wise, the best wide receiver Aaron Rodgers has ever played with. I cannot refute that. But at the end of the day, every single one of those receivers, their numbers went drastically down after they left the Packers. What are you guys' thoughts? Because I know you have some.
So, Reed, I like the topic that you brought up about drop rate. Davante Adams is amazing. The man is amazing. Yes. He has a 2% drop rate. So if you throw 100 passes to him in coverage, he's going to catch 98 of them. That's insane. Okay, so I'm looking at the receivers that you have now. I believe you have a rookie, Mr. Christian Watson, so that should be really good for y'all. We'll see how he develops in the league. So I'm not going to talk too much about him because I'll let him talk on the field for himself. But Sammy Watkins is my biggest concern for y'all. He has a 12.9% drop rate. And he doesn't get the ball too often on the teams that he's been in. Usually he's a mid route to a long route type of guy. But they might have him in the slot, depending on how they line up. But the good thing for you is Allen Lazard has a 7% drop rate. So out of 100 passes, 93 are caught. And that was when he was behind Davante Adams. So now the pressure's on him. So I'm wondering if he's going to do better with the way that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw to him, because he's going to be targeting him a lot, or if he's going to get worse because the pressure's on him. So I don't think that it's just on Aaron Rodgers creating the receiver. I also think it's on the receiver to pick up the slack and make sure that they're carrying their own weight. So that's just all I want to say.
You guys are hitting the nail right on the head. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but I do believe over the past few years he's been getting spoiled for having someone like Davante Adams out there. And you are going from a team that had an elite wide receiver to good wide receivers. Okay, I want to say great, but they are good wide receivers. And your wide receiver one is Adam Lazard. And Sammy Watkins, honestly, all we've been seeing is just the ghost of him lately. He's not the guy that he used to be when he was with the Chiefs. And Christian Watson, he's the guy from North Dakota State. I'm not going to say it, but he's a rookie, and we don't know what he's going to be producing. He looks like an athlete, and he has size of an elite wide receiver, but we do not know what these players are going to hold. I know Aaron Rodgers could get the ball there, but going from last year, especially having to deal with the Packers twice last year, um, especially the first game, even the second game,
Yep.
um, it every single time Davante Adams was on the field, which is the majority of the time, you knew the ball was going to go to him. And it's just like saying, we're going to throw the ball to this guy, and there ain't a damn thing you could do about it because that ball didn't have to be accurate. There's sometimes where the ball was low to the floor. This guy was hungry and he dove and he had a clean catch. No matter what, the ball could be anywhere. He'll find a way to catch that ball. And Aaron Rodgers did his part to the much he could. And I don't think these wide receivers can do that part. Can Aaron Rodgers have a receiver to be like, okay, we're going to go to this guy. I could rely on this guy every single play, every single time we're in a tough situation. Like I said, you're going from the best wide receivers to the league, an elite wide receiver, to good wide receivers who I don't think Aaron Rodgers can rely there. And he has to readjust to just having a good wide receiver core and not an elite one. So I think he might find a little trouble there. How much trouble is not a lot because the problem's not on him. But just like Vince said, it's on these wide receivers to carry themselves, to prove themselves that they are great wide receivers in that team.
Thank you guys for bringing me to my next point. Yes, I completely agree with you guys. I find nothing wrong with what you guys are saying. Alan Lazard is our number one wide receiver. He's going to be seeing our most of our targets. We'll see how he does with that, especially going against something he's never gone up before. Be going against their best corner of the defense every single week. He's going to have the best corner on him. He's going to see the double coverages. We'll have to see how he's able to adjust to that and how he can persevere through that. That's going to be the biggest question mark. Now, everybody else, we have Sammy Watkins, we have Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb, yes, he's Randall Cobb, great with Aaron Rodgers, but at the end of the day, he's aging. He's going to have a few games where he's good, but we don't know what's happening. Other wide receivers is Amari Rodgers, who's coming off his terrible rookie year. We have high hopes for him, but terrible rookie year. Then we have our two wide receivers that we drafted last year, and Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs. We have huge hopes for those guys, but at the end of the day, they're rookies. And Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, the biggest thing with Aaron Rodgers that I've witnessed over the years is he takes time to warm up to receivers. That's my biggest worry this year is he doesn't trust some wide receivers. It takes a while for them to earn his trust, and because he'll like see an open wide receiver or a doable catch sometimes, and then not throw it or either throw it away or try to run it, something like that. I've seen it multiple times. But the point I'm trying to get to here is Matt LaFleur at his 3 years as our coach. There's been 7 games that Davante Adams has missed. 7 games. Okay, let's look at these games. What were we as a team without Davante Adams? All right, those 7 games, we won every single one. We won every single one. And what you saw as someone who watched those games, you see Matt LaFleur not just saying, "Hey, we have a cheat code in Davante Adams. We're just going to chuck it to him 50% of our plays." You see a guy who schemes plays. Schemes guys open. That's what we're gonna have to. That's what we're going to see this next year. All right, Matt LaFleur knows we don't have that special weapon, special weapon that we had in Davante Adams, and he's gonna scheme plays to have these other guys shine. All right, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see that. You've talked a lot about Matt LaFleur and how great of a coach he is, and sometimes we agree with you, and sometimes we don't. So I'm excited to see that. I love when coaches come out and they actually show what they can do when there's not a star there to help them out. So this is going to be a really good year for him, and I'm excited.
You know where I stand with Matt LaFleur. I do believe he is very creative. He comes from the same branch as Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. So yeah, I do believe he is creative, but I feel like you also still do have a cheat code because you could create a lot of systems with Aaron Rodgers there. Not degrade him as a coach because we still have not seen what he can do. With a blank out team. But coming to the end of the day with this question, who's in a better situation, Davante Adams or Aaron Rodgers? I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is in a better situation, not because I feel like they have a better team, but because clearly it's a better quarterback and a better division to play in and a better conference to play in as well. You got a division that you could win clear cut, and I think you have a higher probability of making it to the Super Bowl rather than the Raiders, who are in the hardest division of football, and also paired up this season with the NFC West, which is another hard division in football. So I do have high hopes for the Packers to make it far. How long is Aaron Rodgers going to stay there? I don't know, but that's not the question for today. So I think that Aaron
Why'd
Rodgers
you have
is
to
the.
bring it up, man?
I just have to, man. I don't know. You're doing so good. I had to take you down a notch.
Can't believe you.
No, so my decision, I would love to go with Davante Adams being the guy here just to piss Reed off just a little bit. But I cannot because Rodgers right now has the upper hand. He's the better player, in my opinion, at his position. He has the better coach. The Raiders are coming in with a new head coach in the hardest division in football, arguably, playing against another hard division, arguably one of the best as well. Me and AJ know that. Anyway, I just can't give it to Davante Adams. He's not the guy who has the ball in his hands every play. Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers has the control to make his season the best because he doesn't have Davante Adams. They're like, oh, he has Davante Adams. That's why he's so good. That's why he gets MVP. Now he doesn't, so he gets to prove why he's the MVP, and it wasn't just because of a receiver. So that's another reason I'm excited. NFL is changing. People want to make super teams. Sometimes these super teams don't work out, man. So I want to see what these other guys have to give us.
I like it. Yeah, you guys obviously know where I'm going to land with my decision on this. Aaron Rodgers has the better situation. He's a proven veteran that he can do this with or without whoever his wide receivers are, in my opinion. Davante Adams, incredible wide receiver. I really wish he could have stayed with the Packers just at least one more year to solidify himself as one of the greatest receivers of all time. But he decided to go somewhere else and be able to prove that. Hope the best for him. I hope he's able to do it. But at the end of the day, I think his numbers are going to go down a little bit. How much? I have no idea. We'll have to see how Derek Carr is able to play. But Aaron Rodgers has the better situation. We've seen time and time again our best wide receiver leave. Where does this leave Aaron Rodgers? And he's shown time and time again, in my opinion, that he's one of the best ever to throw that football.
Hey man,
Nice.
when Alan Lazard leaves, tell him to sign us.
Us?
We'll go out there and we'll be the best wide receivers for Aaron Rodgers.
Triple threat right
it.
here, man.
I love it.
Just nonstop. Oh, jeez. He needs us. He does. Yeah. But thank you all for joining us. Not live. Thank you all for joining us in this episode where we talk about Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. We know we don't like to talk about the Packers so much, but
This is a great episode.
every once in a while we gotta toss them a bone. But appreciate y'all being here. Make sure to check us out on TikTok at Not So Pro Football Talk. And until next time, you guys keep on grinding.